What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me. I want to lead with this short clip here from Brad Garlinghouse. Take a listen.
Ripple is focused on solving the exact problem you described. How do we make cross-border payments massively more efficient for remittances for corporates? We use a digital asset called XRP as part of that flow, and we use XRP because it's 1,000 times faster than Bitcoin transactions and 1,000 times cheaper than a Bitcoin transaction. We think the utility of XRP is such that it's the most efficient digital assets to solve.
In 10 years, 99% of these crypto tokens will not be around. The ones that will supersede and survive are tokens with utility, and XRP has that exact thing. And speaking of utility, look how much of a joke the SEC is in this current crypto market. Take a listen to this TikTok I put up. Hensy's open to an FTX reboot under proper leadership. The company that rug pulled $8 billion, $9 billion. Gary Gensler is open to reopening it. And this market's absolutely crazy. You look at that. So I talked about this yesterday, but Gary Gensler is open to an FTX reboot. The FTX token, FTT, went up 161%. There's absolutely no utility in this, and people are just speculating that if the exchange reopens, this token could maybe go back to its all-time high level, which was 20 times this. But it just goes to show utility, it takes time. Implementation takes time. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about ISO. Guys, I give away $10 in XRP on the channel. To enter the giveaway, just like the video, subscribe, notifications on, and comment anything you want in the comment section below. Winner from the last video is in the video description. And if you guys want $41 for free to get some more XRP, sign up with Webull. Deposit 1 penny. You can get up to $3,000 in free stocks, but you're guaranteed $41 minimum stock value for free just for signing up and depositing a penny. Check out Webull in the video description below. And a little bit technical analysis on the XRP price chart. We are seeing higher lows. You see right here. And that's always good on the price chart. And something interesting that someone tweeted out, XRP bounced off the same trend line from 2017. So trend lines, technical analysis, it's kind of like weightlifting or dieting. Everyone has their own opinion and they all kind of stink. But when you have these long trend lines, they're much more respectable than, like, say, a 2-day trend line. You know, short-term technical analysis, people that look at the 1-minute chart, it's kind of a joke. But you have this 2017 trend line, which I think is very respectable. And this is when XRP, back during the retail market of 2017, absolutely surged like 60,000% actually. Absolutely crazy stuff. Now, this won't happen again, this kind of surge, because the more of a market cap a crypto has, or any asset, the more money that needs to come in for it to produce the same gains. That's why every Bitcoin bull market, the gains have been less and less and less. But one of the good things about XRP is it's one of the few cryptos that has yet to hit all-time highs in this past bull run, and a lot of that had to do with the SEC FUD and lawsuit. However, you see right here, XRP, like I was showing you earlier, it's putting in more higher lows, and we're bouncing off a trend line that XRP has respected since its inception. So that's kind of exciting. And people are talking about ISO 222 implementations, and here are some misconceptions. They say that, contrary to misconceptions about ISO implementation in 2025, 2026, the reality is that banks are actively adopting this technology right now. The urgency to integrate into financial systems underscores its immediate significance in transforming the banking sector. In 7 days, November 19th, that's the scheduled date for a lot of the world's biggest banks to implement these ISO standards. And BlackRock is slamming back at the SEC. And BlackRock is no institution, no regular institution. They call BlackRock the fourth branch of the U.S. government for a reason. They have $10 trillion in assets under management. And they question the SEC's preference for the 1940 Act that oversees futures ETFs and argued that it lacks relevancy to both crypto spot and crypto futures ETFs. So maybe we'll see something where the CFTC, the commodities organization, actually takes responsibility over the SEC for this. This is coming on news from November 9th, where BlackRock has now filed for a spot Ethereum ETF, and they submitted the 19B4 application to NASDAQ, okay? In its application, they called out the SEC, and they're basically saying the SEC does not have authority over these. given that the SEC has approved ETFs that offer exposure to ETH futures, which themselves are priced based on the underlying spot ETH market. The sponsor, BlackRock, believes that the commission must also approve ETPs that offer exposure to spot Ethereum. In Modular, Ripple Partner, one of the very few fintechs that have direct access to the clearing settlements for the Bank of England. London is the financial hub of the world. All the biggest banks have their headquarters in London. And Modular is one of the few people that has access to clearing settlements for the Bank of England. And what do you know? They just happen to be a Ripple partner. And if you guys need a spot to get XRP or Flare, check out Uphold in the video description below. Uphold is my go-to spot where I dollar cost and buy my XRP every week. So if you're looking for a spot to get XRP, check out Uphold in the video description below. And another great tweet from this guy, Chad Steingraber. Ripple is the only company working with regulators across the world to bring crypto into the traditional financial sector. XRP is not just another asset, it's the fuel for the new money for the next 200 years. People in the last bull run fudded the crap out of XRP, and rightfully so. The price performance was pretty abysmal. But like I said at the beginning of the video, 99% of cryptos are going to bust in the future. The only ones that will stay around, and this goes the same for the dot-com bubble and business in general. Are you solving a problem? In the case of XRP, they're saving banks, which are in the business of money, time and money. What's more valuable than money? Time. So XRP solves a very important problem, and that's why I'm so bullish on it. Take a listen to BG.
From the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute. Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in
XRP is the next Bitcoin. Keep in mind, Bitcoin was not designed to be digital gold. That's the narrative now. But Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of the Bitcoin algorithm, said it was supposed to be peer-to-peer payments. Who's using, maybe you buy a Bugatti, maybe you buy a house in Dubai with Bitcoin, but people are not transacting with Bitcoin. It's not possible. The block time is too slow. And XRP is literally peer-to-peer payments. It is what Satoshi Nakamoto envisioned. It is the next Bitcoin. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you smash the like button. It's the best way to support the channel. It truly means a lot to me, and it also gives me feedback. It lets me know you're enjoying the content. And if you don't enjoy the content, give me some negative feedback in the comment sections. And just hit the thumbs down. I appreciate your authenticity. And this is from Flip the Chain. This is from David Schwartz. He says, since some XRP gets destroyed in each transaction, what happens if XRP becomes widely adopted and the increased rate of transactions leads to too many XRP getting destroyed? Will Ripple issue more XRP tokens? He says there is no way to issue XRP tokens by Ripple or anyone else. All the XRP to ever exist was in the Genesis ledger, free to be taken by anyone with access to the system. Ripple received the XRP it has as a gift from the original ledger founders. So that's another big misconception, that Ripple created XRP. No, XRP was created before Ripple, and it was gifted to Ripple. And it's a deflationary cryptocurrency. There's 100 billion tokens, slightly less than that, because every transaction, a little XRP gets burnt. And in the future, if it is widely adopted, you'll see that burn rate increase a lot more. And if you don't know about economics, that's a supply shock, right? As long as the demand increases and the supply is going down, that's very bullish for the price. This is from XRP Daily. A document labeled Central Bank Digital Currencies Inquiry, submitted by the Digital Pound Foundation in October 25th of 2021, labels XRP as suitable for cross-border payments, as it is fast, scalable, and energy efficient and expensive. The document also mentions the CBDC private ledger. This is a huge advantage for XRP. Not a lot of blockchains are working with these big central banks, and not a lot of them have a private ledger. You got to keep in mind, guys, central banks are not just going to relinquish control of the financial system They've controlled the financial system for hundreds of years, and they're going to want a private ledger to which they can control. They would never use something like the Bitcoin blockchain. The CBDC private ledger can be used for both payments and issuing currencies, and by leveraging the XRPL and the Ripple payments technologies, commercial financial institutions and central banks are able to make cost-effective, reliable, and close to instantaneous payments. Right? Current cross-border payments take days. Instantaneous payments, huge innovation. Even at high volumes and for use cases such as micropayments. The Bank of England has previously observed that 1.2 million people are unbanked in the UK, equivalent to roughly 1.4% of the population. Ripple believes CBDCs, for which you will only need a smartphone to access, this can allow consumers a way to access central bank money and financial services given the privacy concerns can be met. And this is from Adam Cochran. He's a very respectable person in the crypto Twitter space. He's a professor, very smart guy. He's not one of these like clickbait channels. And he says usually this stuff gets posted by the SEC as like a disclaimer before they approve things they don't like. For example, the last time was 4 days before they approved the BITO futures ETF. Would guess this puts the Bitcoin ETF approvals in under 1 week now. Now, a lot of the reason that Bitcoin in the crypto market has been rallying is the speculation about BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF and now their Ethereum ETF. And Adam Cochran is speculating, based off this clip from Gary Gensler, that we're under a week away from these ETF approvals. Now, take a listen to a little bit of this clip.
What is the Securities and Exchange Commission's Division of Corporation Finance, and what does it have to do with a basic bargain? Let me take you back to the 1920s. This was a remarkable time in the United States with industrialization on the rise and mass production of automobiles on our roads. There was something missing though. Federal laws that protect investors. Investors in those days were getting flim-flammed by hucksters, fraudsters, scam artists, and Ponzi schemes. After the Great Depression began, to protect the investing public, President Franklin Roosevelt and Congress enacted what Roosevelt called, and I quote, Truth in Securities Act. That was the Securities Act of 1933, and in essence, this law established a basic bargain in our capital markets. So you see, investors get to decide what risks they take, so long as public companies raising money from the public make what Roosevelt called, and I quote, complete and truthful disclosure, end quote. A year later, Congress enacted laws to create our agency, to regulate the exchanges and intermediaries in the middle of the market, strengthen the anti-fraud rules, and yes, oversee this basic bargain. Under the securities laws, the SEC is merit neutral. We don't take a view on whether or not investors should invest in particular companies. Our role is to see that you, as investors, get that, quote, complete and truthful disclosure that Roosevelt talked about. So you can make informed investment decisions and decide what risk to take. Since the
So it really sounds like Gary Gensler is explaining this to the common man, and like Adam was speculating, last time he did this was right before they approved another futures ETF, so we could be seeing that soon. And this is a clip from CCDA's 2023, a big financial conference in London, and the speaker is Andrew Whitworth, Policy Director at Ripple, talking about some very relevant information. Take a listen.
I mean, I agree, and I would say I think the public policy use or reasoning for a CBDC is quite clear, or there are many of them. Whether that's upgrading the innovation system or the innovating for the payment system, of the domestic financial system, or whether that's to improve financial inclusion. Ripple does quite a lot of work with central banks around the world to help them figure out what they want to do with a CBDC, do some pilot projects, help them understand the technology. For a lot of these central banks, and these tend to be in emerging economies, it is about financial inclusion. Like we have one famous pilot with Palau, this is not a plug, but they've got many islands, and until very recently, they had to physically ship in ships cash to each island. Now that's difficult, dangerous, expensive, inefficient. So they're very interested in developing some kind of CBDC, or in their case, because they're dollarized sort of stablecoin solution. So you can see that there are benefits. Now, maybe these aren't all the same benefits in each country. So again, it goes back to the point of, well, what do you want it for? What do you need it for? But I think there are public policy benefits. The bit I still have a bit of a question around is what the retail use case is. I mean, or use case for retail users. And I think a lot of central banks have, I know they are thinking about this. The DPF is thinking about this. They have a very good working group on use cases. They exist, but they can be quite niche. And if the idea is to get mass adoption from the public in a developed economy who already have payments on their phone, digital payments, online payments, that could be quite difficult, because coming up with a plethora of, how many hundreds of individual use cases is not the same as saying, well, actually, digital contactless payments, they took off when you could use it on the tube in London, in the UK, right? I don't think we've seen or we've worked out what that killer use case is for CBDCs in a country like the UK. And maybe we don't need one. And personally, I'm quite taken by the Bank of England's approach of saying, look, we're doing this to develop the infrastructure. In the future, the private sector will innovate on that. Partly that's kicking the can down the road and passing the buck, fine. But also, I think if you look at, and I'm sorry to get very technical here, but if you look at the PSD2, so the Payment Service Directive, the second Payment Service Directive in the EU, which came out 5-6 years ago, that, I would argue, has created the fintech and payments PSP landscape that we know today. It wasn't intended to, but it has done. I think a CBDC might do something similar.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did make it to the Sorry, my mic cut out there. Thank you for watching the full video, and comment Palau in the comment section below when you watch the full video. It's the best way to support the channel, and I appreciate all my loyal viewers. God bless you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Until next time.